I decided to come out into the open and say, yeah, I'm a housewife and I love it. To my pretty new channel. I'm Mrs. Midwest. I'm a blogger writing on women's heart and mind issues, and I live in the Midwest, Michigan, with my husband and dog. So today's topic was a bit of a reader request. I had a reader DM me on Instagram and give me a bunch of ideas for a video, but one of the ones that stood out to me was the question, how can I be feminine in a feminist world? You know, I was thinking about it a lot. I was thinking, how do we be feminine women in a world that kind of prizes feminism and that masculine energy in women? How can we be feminine women? And that's what this video is going to address. So I came up with 4 ways we can be feminine in a feminist world. So let's get going. Number 1, you don't need to isolate yourself from all feminist women. I have a lot of friends who are feminists and probably would describe themselves even as third wave feminists. These people are important to me, they love me, they know my traditional beliefs, and we don't get on each other, we're not aggressive about our beliefs, we just have a friendship. I don't think it's important to talk about political ideology or cultural ideology with every single person in your life. I think it's okay to have a few friends that you talk about girl things, relationships, life. But again, if you have no friends that believe what you believe or no friends that understand you, again, that's not great. I would recommend don't isolate yourself from feminist women, but don't completely surround yourself with them either. Find a balance, find people who understand you. And at the end of the day, if you have a feminist friend, but she respects you and she respects your beliefs, that's great, because that's what I think feminism was all about. It was about women having the right to choose what they wanted to be in life. And so I do think that real feminist women who believe kind of that older version of feminism will celebrate your right to choose to be a feminine woman or to want to be a homemaker or a stay-at-home wife, or, you know, get married young, you know. That feminist friend will support you, and I can say that from experience. So don't just assume because a woman is a feminist that she is a bad friend or a bad person. I don't believe in identity politics, so I don't believe that we need to clump a bunch of people and say, oh, well, you're a feminist or you're a bad person. I would look at the person first and, you know, take their beliefs into consideration, but don't just assume that they're not going to be a good friend to you. So how to be feminine in a feminist world? Continue to be friends with good people regardless of their beliefs, and focus on who actually cares about you and who makes you feel good about yourself. Number 2, for how to be feminine in a feminist world, don't harp on people about your beliefs. I think people have to often come to beliefs on their own. And so if someone asks you what you think or asks you about your home life or beliefs or what you want out of life, by all means share those things. But don't feel like you need to be aggressive or harp on people who are different than you. Again, I always talk about femininity is about nurturing yourself, the world around you, and people. So focus on nurturing interactions. And this doesn't mean you need to be dishonest and lie to people just to prop them up and be super sweet, but you can be honest with people without being cruel, aggressive, and too intense. You know, you can talk about your beliefs, you can be honest, but you can still do it in a nurturing way that won't sever that relationship. I don't get into arguments with people, especially online. You know, I think it's pretty clear what I believe and I'm comfortable with that, and I think everyone has the right to choose what they believe. And I do expect that feminists should respect my beliefs as much as I respect their right to choose their beliefs. My platform and my channel and what I talk about is for women who want to choose, and they want to choose that more traditional way, and I'm just here to kind of give them a blueprint, you could say. So don't be aggressive, Don't go out picking fights, especially on social media. Focus on nurturing yourself, nurturing your real life relationships, nurturing your real life, and nurturing those beliefs. You know, even if everyone in your life disagrees with you, you can still have your beliefs. You can still live your life. No one is forcing you to believe anything except what you want to. And that's the beautiful thing about our modern free country, you know, and tap into that, tap into your right to believe. And if someone gets really aggressive with you about your beliefs, remind them that the feminist ideology is all about women choosing what they want to be and having the right to choose. And remind them that you're just expressing that right. And that's a very gentle but firm way to kind of put the kibosh on some of that third wave nastiness. Because again, we are not here to arm twist people into believing what we believe. We are just here to unite as a group around these beliefs and encourage one another and feel inspired to grow as people. Number 4, don't hide your femininity. It's important to flourish as a feminine woman in a public sense because it's powerful and it brings other women out of hiding. And I have seen that in my own journey. I've seen that in my journey with this channel, with my blog. I decided to come out into the open and say, yeah, I'm a housewife and I love it. This is how I live my life. This is how we function. And this is what I believe. And when I started doing that, all these women came out of the woodwork and they were saying, I'm so happy you are talking about these things because I believe it, but I'm too scared to talk about it. And I think that's really sad because I don't think that's what feminists intended, was to make women feel marginalized and tiny in what they wanted in life. But it kind of has had that adverse effect now that we're into like 3rd, 4th wave feminism. So again, don't go into hiding. Don't hide. Flourish so that other women can be encouraged by your femininity and that they can see that you're successful in it and be inspired. There's a lot of men out there that want a traditional life. These men are looking for feminine women. And so you shouldn't hide your femininity because then they'll be able to see that in you and pursue a relationship. You want to attract that masculine man. And so by being open and honest with your femininity, even like a physical kind of sense, the way you live your life, how you speak to people, all of that, that will attract that masculine man. We can go into that a little more in the future about dating and relationships, but I just want to say feminine women attract masculine men, and people who want that traditional lifestyle, they need to find each other somehow. So don't hide that that's what you believe because you're gonna potentially cut off some opportunities in the dating world. Number 5 for how to be feminine in a feminist world is reject feminist messages. So these messages, I feel like I can sum them up in the statements of slay girl slay, you're a goddess, you're a queen, you can do no wrong, you can do anything, you can do absolutely anything and have kids and travel the world and have 3 dogs, you know, just like this crazy intense belief that anything is possible. And I'm not like a downer on the belief that anything is possible, but I think that we've stopped being realistic. I think a lot of feminist messages wrongfully encourage us into lifestyles that aren't sustainable, and I would begin to reject those and replace them with traditional messages of the importance of family, the importance of motherhood, the importance of those instincts that you have within you and how those are good for the world. Surround yourself with positive feminine messages. Don't feast on feminist messages. Take them in moderation, evaluate them, discern the truth, and then you will begin to create your own beliefs in this area. You will begin to see what's real and what's just happy thoughts. It's happy thoughts to think anybody can look beautiful if they're 400 pounds or 75 pounds. You know, that's happy thoughts. The reality is that healthy people are beautiful. And again, there's a range. You can be very curvy and healthy. But I would encourage you to remove yourself from those feminist wishful thinking messages and move towards messages of self-improvement. That changed my life. Once I stopped believing that I was just gorgeous no matter what, I was able to take control of my skin and my diet and my exercise and say, no, I don't look my best, and that's okay because I can improve. And I think that's the problem with feminist messages. They tell you that you're your best all the time, and they don't encourage self-improvement. Instead of feeling miserable all the time because I didn't like myself, now I get to feel miserable for the moment when I realize I'm not doing awesome. And that moment when you realize that you're not awesome just the way you are, yeah, it sucks. No one likes that. But it's only momentary, because then you get to work on yourself and actually be proud of who you are and what you've accomplished, versus just thinking that you're perfect no matter what, but knowing deep down that you're not. Want to be feminine in a feminist society? Work on yourself. Be open about your femininity. Encourage others around you, but don't be aggressive trying to change people's minds. Reject those feminist messages and continue to love people around you, and you will see that others are inspired. My last piece of advice, I'm not going to expound on it, but it's to unite with other feminine women and encourage each other in what we're doing. So thank you for tuning in. I am so happy that I was able to record this today. I read the comments yesterday and they were so encouraging and sweet, and it made me feel really loved, and it made me feel very fired up to continue getting this message out to you guys. So if you liked this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post, and please follow me on all my social channels. Twitter, you'll get some short and sweet kind of snappy thoughts on society, but Instagram is the place to go for a little bit more of my day-to-day life, my thoughts, a little bit of humor, and of course photos of my husband, my house, and my dog. So thank you again. I hope you have a blessed and sweet feminine day.